Nuia te ture whakahaere I ngā whenua Māori. Hioi, tērā tētahi hapū o Taranaki, te āritarita maira, kia whakahaere hia o tira kia whakarereke hia te ture nei. Aha, kua te nui o te whenua e karapoti ana I a rātou me te hia ki te whakatū papakāinga ki runga, kāre e tāia e te hapū nei te aha, nā ngā here a te ture. I karanga rātou I a tahuri tūmoana ki Waitotara.
Koe nei e tahi o te whānau mai te marae o Waipapa ki Waitotara, Taranaki. Ko rātou nā mōrehu o nā pakana whenua me nā kirina waipuke. He toa e tū tonu ana. I nei rā e kahana rātou ki te whakapakari I a rātou anō, ki roto I o rātou tikana me a rātou tātai whakapapa.
For me, it boils down to the fact that this is the last remnant of our tūranga waiwai. It's the last little bit of land we have left, which we have the right to occupy and to gain our sustenance from.
Mai kai iwi ki Pātea, ki uta ki mate a ona. Koe ne te rohe pōtai o nā iwi o Taranaki ki te tona me nā uri o whananui. Koe ne te tohu a nā uri whai pāna ki e nei whenua. I nā e nei he kona noa e toi ana. Koe nei te praka o Papa Tupu e whārau eka tōna rahi.
People have fought and died for this piece of land. I believe we have no choice but to do the same as long as we can keep battling the thing that is our enemy at the moment is the regulations, the Ture Whenua Maori Act, the resource consents, building consents. These are the things that are oppressing us and keeping us from utilising our Papatupu block to the best advantage for our mokopuna mainly. Kēnei te kaupapa nui ki ahau, kia hoki mai anō ngā whānau ki te noo, hei oranga.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries have said that 80% of Māori land is underutilised. What do you think about that?
The main focus of the Ture Whenua Māori is on farmland. Every bit of block of land is a farm and must be operated as a farm or some sort of profitable enterprise like planting trees. Ahakoa hea, whatever the kaupapa, but for me, because it's the last remnant of our tūranga waiwai, the emphasis must be on papakainga.
E whai ana a Maureen Flutie I nā tapuai a tōna kraua me tōna pāpā hei kaitiaki mo te whenua. Kua pau katoa tōna kaha ki te whenua, a kei te whakapono ia ki tā pōtona kia tū he papakaina. Kua hokona ke e ia nā hea a etahi atu kia kore ai te whenua e tukuna.
It's not the monetary side at all, really. I mean, I was born and bred here. I've brought up, the way I've been brought up is what the old Maori ways have done, and it's what Pop has taught us. And this is the thing, is his, right from the word go, was to accumulate, get all the land together, and run it as one, and so that it can suffice the rest of the family.
I waihana tia te ture whenua Māori kia puritia ai nā whenua Māori hei taona tuku iho. Hei tā pōtona ahakoa tērā whakaro nui, he raru tonu kei roto.
Under the Ture Whenua Māori, we will have to take all the profits and dish them out to all of the uri. When you've got 300 owners on 2 hectares, it's ridiculous. It's a totally ridiculous situation. Here we have 30 blocks with thousands of owners, literally thousands of owners, who are entitled to take a share of any productivity that comes off the land. Well, it's totally ludicrous. We must go back to tikanga Māori, whereby there's no such thing as an absentee landlord. Tētai o ngā kōrero tuku iwo, kei te haere koi ki waho, kei te haere mana kore. If you go outside your rohe, you have no say in what goes on there. Only those who live on the land have the right to occupy it and gain sustenance from it. If you want to come back, hoki mai anō ki te haukainga, kei te pai, kei te tika tēnā, hoki mai, kei konei tō whenua.
Kei konei te whakapapa a Danny Broughton, kua tatamutu tōna mahi a e rapu ana ia I tētahi huarahi hou.
Yeah, you come here and you look around and you ask yourself, why would you actually come back here and pour time and effort into something that is not well established? There is no fabric to it. In fact, it's actually degrading, getting worse. And then you turn that around and you say, well, actually, it does belong to me, it is part of me. How can I make it better?
E kore a pōtona e whakapono ana ki ngā rūnana hei tāna ko rātai tonu tētahi o ngā take e noho wehe ana te iwi.
There are other pieces of land which originally belonged to us, which are within the PKW, the Taranaki Kaumatua Corporation. It's very valuable land. In terms of its monetary value, if we had it, and if we just had the lease money that's coming from it, we would not have to go begging for money to restore our marae and to develop our land.
He kaha a pōtona ki te hoki mai ki tōna ukaipo, nā tāna kuia a pani ia I whānai ki e nei whakaaro Māori.
What if someone goes, te pōtona, he's living in the dark ages, you know, there he goes again with his crazy ideas. What are you going to say there?
I've been there, and I've done that, and I've had that said to me many times. I say to them, well, where is the real world? You can have kapahaka and kura kaupapa Māori, kohanga reo, era mea katoa. Kei te vai, kei te tika tēnā, engari, ko tēnei te pūtake. The culture must be a holistic thing. It cannot be this and that and every other little thing. Mō ngā mokopuna te hokinga mai ki tō rātou tūranga waiwai. Ki te ako ko wai ka rātou, no e rātou, ea a te tikanga, ea a te ara tika ki mua. If you don't know your past, you can't plan your future.
Ko te pao rangi, ngā te apu ko ngāri ki e.
So joining me today from Wellington is the chair of the Ture Whenua Act Review Group, Matanuku Mahuika, and in Auckland is Willie Jackson yet again, who was part of the last review back in 2002. Tēnā kōrua. Matanuku, let's start with you. What do you think of some of those issues and concerns raised by Gary in that report?
I think that what you heard from that report is really is an example of why it is we need to look at the Act. And it exemplifies some of the problems that we have with Māori land. So, since, 2 or 3 generations ago, we had a much smaller number of landowners. We had people that were living close to the land itself and had intimate knowledge of it, and that, if you like, benefited quite directly from the utilisation of it. In that 50 years or so, we've had an explosion in the number of owners. And the fact of the matter is there are a lot of people with very small interests that just don't live close to the land. And the challenge we have is trying to work out things such as, okay, when you've got such a wide number of owners, how do you cater for them? What sort of input should they have into the land, and what barriers does the situation create around the use of the land? Because what you're hearing from the story is that they're saying, we'd like to use this land, it could benefit our community, but currently we just aren't able to get that happening.
So does that lead us to talking about issues like watering down of ownership?
Yeah, fragmentation is a big issue. I think there's a combination of really big issues that have been identified. One is fragmentation of ownership, and it's continuing to happen with each generation. I think it is the fact that the large majority of landowners now don't live in the area where the land is located, but they're still given quite strong interests under Te Ture Whenua. And I think that your other problem is that a lot of Māori land really is, as the story indicated, underutilised, but more than that, it just doesn't have, in relation to it, a management structure or an administrative structure. So it sits there with a large number of owners, but no one in charge of it.
Well, what Matanuku's been alluding to there also is this absentee ownership. Someone in Australia having a say about what goes on in the tribal land affairs back home. What do you think about absentee ownership? I mean, especially with urban Māori.
Well, it's going to be a big one for Matanuku because he's going to be conflicted, isn't he? Because he's Tuturu Ngāti Pro, and I think he's a city boy too.
So
Matanuku's going to have to talk to his father, Uncle Api Mahuika, about this, because this has been one of the arguments that we've grappled with for many years now, and a lot of us in urban situations will never go back to Ruatoria to live, although I think actually Matanuku is, but a lot of us won't be going back. But how do you look after those Ngāti Pro, you know, who 90% won't go back? How do you look after those interests who will always be proudly Ngāti Pro? I think that's the key, isn't it, Matanuku? The other thing, we sat on the review of this in 2002, as Matanuku knows, and John Tamihere and I worked through the Ture Whenua Act. And
what came out of that review? Nothing happened about that review?
Well, it wasn't our fault. Well, certainly strong recommendations were put forward, weren't they, Matanuku, in terms of freeing up the opportunity to utilise Māori land, in terms of giving the Māori Land Court more strength. You know, the problem we had was we weren't able to access our lands. You know, we're not able to get in there. So you have a lot of ignoramuses who say, oh, the Māori don't do anything with their land. We couldn't do anything with our land because we were caught with laws from 100 years ago, and we just weren't able to. Our land has been landlocked for so long. So we, on the Māori Affairs Committee, put forward strong recommendations in terms of freeing that up, in terms of the Māori Land Court being given more powers, but a lot of that hasn't been acted on, has it, Matanuku?
Well, what should happen now, Matanuku? Should we throw the whole act out and start again?
Yeah, it's a very good question. I mean, picking up on what Willie said, you know, when I was given this role, I figured I was on a hiding to nothing. You know, we're either going to be seen by too timid as some, or, you know, not bold enough by others. The real challenge in all of this is really saying, okay, what are the barriers? What are the things that are really stopping Māori from utilising their land and getting rid of those barriers? And also is the question that Willie asks, you know, what is the interest of the person who actually will never return to that area, but, you know, does have a connection to that place? You need to respect and protect that connection, but, you know, does the Act give them perhaps more influence than they should have because you need to engage them, because they don't really want to engage, they just want to know their land's there and it's being used effectively. You know, but because you can't engage with them, then you don't meet the thresholds that you need to meet in order to get things happening on the property.
Just very quickly, Matanuku, how does someone like Gary get to participate in the review?
What will happen is a lot of work's already been done, so we really know what the issues are. I mean, Willie and the panel that he sat on has already looked at these. We're not trying to you know, remake the wheel here. Yep. We're really looking at all of the issues that have been identified. We're having some reasonably targeted discussions with people that have been involved in this area previously, just to test what's happened. Then we make some recommendations to the government. We're hoping to be able to do that in a month or two. And after that stage, there'll be a public consultation process. So he will get a chance as part of that process.
Very good, Matanuku. Thank you very much. Willie, thank you also. And no doubt this is an issue that we'll keep on talking about here on Marae Investigates.